coming up on Dig It.
You'd be a great therapist, Zoe. You're so good.
I'd be terrible. I'd just end up telling them all the dreadful things I've done myself. Well, actually, in 1992, I did this terrible thing.
We suppress grief and we suppress crying and we just constantly
Hold it together. And we shouldn't.
Yeah, a number of funerals I've been to where it's... Physically, it's so hard just to keep the tears and the grief in.
Well, we have to be good girls, don't we? Because if you're on the radio, you learn, not to swear. Although I think I did accidentally swear once on the radio.
No, I said the C word once on the radio. That wasn't good.
All of that right after this. Dig It is sponsored by Visit Scotland and TripAdvisor.
Okay, we need to talk about Scotland because festival season is nearly upon us, and it is, of course, the perfect opportunity to make a festival part of your Scottish escape.
Yes, I am so excited. The Orkney Folk Festival happens in May, which I would go to in a heartbeat. Imagine that. Incredible landscape, the music, the community. This festival really brings together visiting international artists and homegrown Orcadian musicians like the 8-piece band, The Chair. They promise to deliver a turbocharged mashup of folk, blues, rock, dub, and more. Sounds incredible.
Do you know what? Top of my list, I think, would be Transmit Festival because the lineup is excellent. They've got so many bands I love. English Teacher, Jacob Alon, Westside Cowboy, Beta Band, Wolf Alice. It's just so good. So many others besides. And Glasgow has always had a spectacular music scene, and the energy, as we know from Scottish crowds, makes it truly unique. They are a force to be reckoned with.
And Edinburgh, well, it just never stops. You've got the well-known festivals in August, but before that, the Jazz and Blues Festival happens in July. Sounds like the perfect soundtrack for a city break. What an excuse. Like, we need an excuse.
Yeah, so get ready to make some long-lasting memories.
You can start planning your own spring escape at tripadvisor.co.uk/Scotland and discover a side of Scotland you might not have explored yet.
Hi, good morning, Monday Diggers. It's lovely to see you for our dig-in. Zoe, hi, you okay?
I'm just clearing a bit of wind, actually, Joe. I've just swallowed a bagel whole, and it was repeating, but it's all right, everyone.
Okay.
I've dealt with it.
What did you have on your bagel?
It was plain because I was in a rush. It's like nothing on it, which is probably why it was sticking going down. Because I should have put some butter on it or something. But anyway.
Some cream cheese would have made it go down a bit smoother, I think.
That would be lovely. We've never really talked about the fact that I tried your incredible concoction, your soup scenario, and really enjoyed it. And that whole video still keeps creating more and more content with people going, oh my God, that's disgusting. And actually people trying it and saying, you know what, this is actually quite tasty.
Yeah.
So
it works.
There you go. Don't knock it till you've tried it.
I mean, it's one of the biggest reactions we've had to anything we've posted.
It really is.
Just people being like, either I really used to like you and now I don't ever want to see or speak to you ever again. And then other people just going, yeah, I'm a convert. But I'm so happy that you liked it as well.
I know. I've not eaten it since, mind, but at least I know it's there, should I need it.
I've had it every day.
Of course you have. Well, that was the thing that I really loved. Em, the nutritionist, who I really love, Emily English, I've got both her cookbooks. We cook from them regularly. She said this is a very nutritious meal, and she was well impressed. So there you go.
Good.
You impressed Em, the nutritionist.
Excellent.
Okay.
Questions. So Denise has been in touch to kick things off today, and her comments, her questions, her story goes like this. I met my boyfriend 2 years ago, and honestly, I never thought I'd find someone like him. He's kind, he's funny, and I do genuinely think he's the person I will spend the rest of my life with.
Hooray.
But there are a few things that are starting to get to me. He seems quite stuck in life. He's in a job he doesn't enjoy and doesn't have the confidence to look for something else. I just know that he could do so much more. He also has quite a bit of health anxiety, which can take over at times. And I don't think he really realises how much it affects both of us. What's tricky is that his whole family are like this. They don't really talk about things properly and they tend to avoid dealing with problems. I've gently suggested therapy a few times, even offered to help him find somebody, but he always says it's not for him. I don't want to nag or make him feel like there's something wrong with him, but at the same time, I can't ignore it anymore because it's starting to affect us. So my question is, how do you encourage someone you love to get help when they don't think they need it? And where do you draw the line between supporting someone and losing patience? Thank you so much. I love the podcast. Denise, thank you so much for sharing this with us. And it is a really familiar scenario and quite a tricky one, because I think when people have been brought up in a certain way, what's the saying? A leopard can't change its spots or something like that. It's quite hard to break that, isn't it? The person's formed by the time you meet them and they have the habits they've been taught by their parents how to be, or their family how to be. And then to change that is really, really difficult. I'm not sure that I have the answer. Maybe some of our diggers do. Maybe Zoe, you do.
Well, no, I definitely don't have the answer, but I think it's one of those communication things, isn't it? I've done that thing before of rushing in and being like, you need to have therapy and you need to do this and you need to do that and you need to do that. And actually what I probably need to do is back off and approach more gently. And I think it's maybe having a chance to have that conversation of, look, I worry about you and I'm concerned about your health issues and you haven't really done anything about it. And I'm just wondering if you should. I wonder if there's a gently approach where you kind of meet in the middle a little bit and say, look, I know how you feel about therapy. Maybe that's not for you. I know how you deal with things, which is how your family have always dealt with things. But do you think that for me or for us, you might think about seeing a doctor or having a look at these things? Maybe it's that it's like almost like a subliminal planting of a seed, instead of going full out and you need therapy, otherwise we're in trouble, because that doesn't really work. And different people do deal with different things, but it doesn't mean that you can't fix this, or you could find some middle ground. Because sometimes people need to come to those ideas themselves.
Yeah.
And some people don't want to do therapy and it's just not for them. And you understand, some people go and they're like, no, it's not the right person or whatever. But there may be a middle ground of a better place for your partner to be in a slightly better place with their health anxieties and stuff like that. So maybe it's a softly approach. And you could do that in a nice conversation of, have you thought about how this is slightly affecting us? And I'm worried about you. And do you think, is there anything we could do together or anything I can help you with? I don't know. Somewhere in the middle, perhaps. That has worked with, and sometimes, sometimes people just need to go away and come up with that idea themselves as well, rather than being told that's what they need to do. So perhaps plant that little seed. I'm not sure.
You'd be a great therapist, Zoe. You're so good.
I'd be terrible. I'd just end up telling them all the dreadful things I've done myself. Well, actually, in 1992, I did this terrible thing. Don't feel bad. I've done worse. I talk too much to be a therapist. I think you've got to listen, haven't you?
I don't know. I tend to think that you have to get to a bit of a crunch and think, I think people only change and they will only accept and consider doing something when they're at rock bottom. So when things are all falling apart, when you do get to the relationship kind of crunch, and then they will be like, okay, I really don't want to lose you. I need to change. And then therefore, maybe I'll consider what you're suggesting. So maybe, it's a painful place to get to and to have to go through, but maybe that's when things will change. I'm sure lots of our diggers will have these frustrations with their partners and maybe they've got their own examples of what worked for them or their own solutions or ideas. So we'd love to hear from you. As ever, show notes, head there, vent, share with us, give us your wisdom. We want all of that stuff and then we'll share it with everybody else.
Denise, we'll come back to you on that and let us know if the middle ground works as well. Amanda has also got a question. I've basically stopped making an effort with about half the people I used to call close friends. And honestly, I feel fine about it. I used to feel terrible, but now it just feels right for where I'm at. Am I a bad person? Or is this just what happens when you get older? From Amanda. I think this is something, isn't it? It's like as you get older and you go through stuff, there are just certain friends who just they're the friends you really need. And then there are lots of other lovely people that you know and love and will see from time to time. But I think the sign of a really good friend is someone you can not speak to for months on end. And then something prompts either of you to get in touch and you pick up like it was yesterday. Because life it changes, doesn't it, Joe? We go out less, we socialise less. You've got kids and parents to look after. I've definitely been quite enjoying quiet time on my own a lot more than I used to.
She's
In
lovely.
fact, probably sometimes need to make more effort to see my friends, because then sometimes I think, oh, actually, I'm actually quite lonely, but I've not made an effort to see anyone. And then you do run into friends and I'm like, oh, it makes it feel really good. But Amanda, yeah, I wouldn't feel, you're not a terrible person at all.
You are in touch a lot with the people that you need at that moment in your life.
Yeah.
They're there for you for whatever you're going through. But, the really, really, really good friends, like Zoe just said, will be there whenever you need them. It's not a matter of picking them up. It's just a matter of reaching out and just reconnecting with people. So I absolutely know. And I think it is a thing about getting older, because all your friends will probably be doing exactly the same. They'll be just like sitting back and going, it's great. My friendships are so deep with these other people that I don't need to be in constant touch with them all the time. I don't need to be seeing them, but they are there for me and we're really good friends and we can pick up whenever we want to. So I think it is that kind of comfort of being a little bit older. But also, quite often life is so hectic that it's really hard to keep in touch with everybody. I've been trying to get together with my brilliant, gorgeous, lovely friends who live locally, and we meet and we have coffee and we keep each other sane by talking. I mean, we haven't seen each other for about 8 or 10 months now, I think. And occasionally the WhatsApp group will ping and we'll be like, look, we really need to get together. And the will is there. We desperately want to see each other, but there will be one of us that is busy. One of us can't do it. And so the plans just fall apart. But I know they're there and I know I can call them and I know that we will have breakfast together at one point and it will be lovely and we'll have so much to talk to each other about. But it's fine. It's fine that we don't see each other all the time.
Yeah.
It's fine. And then there are other friends that you just move on from. You just move on and you don't have things in common. You don't need or want to be in each other's lives all the time. And that is absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
Yeah, as long as they sort of get that as well. And they're not going, where are you? Why have you not messaged me? What have I done? La, 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 la,
I know,
la.
I was just thinking, I really hope that I haven't got friends watching this going, where have you been?
Oh, fine. I'm not your favourite anymore.
No, it is always busyness with me. It's always busyness. And, when I don't reply to messages, it's just literally because it's disappeared off my phone and I've forgotten it because I'm on to the next thing all the time. It's never, ever, ever anything personal about not liking you anymore or not wanting to be in your life. It's just literally busy and forgetful.
I know. I'm seeing a friend of mine this weekend and she sort of lives in London, but she sometimes lives in LA and New York. And my mate Tess, and we haven't seen each other for so long. And when we get together, we tend to sometimes we're in a different city and we will just walk, eat and talk and probably not stop on any of the, we might sit down, but we will eat and talk until we both fall asleep. Then we get up, then we eat and talk again, and then she goes off. And we cover a lot of ground, and I really missed her, so I can't wait to see her. One of those, and it has been so long since I saw her. It's ridiculous, but she's always there, and I'm like, I don't message all the time, and I'm not always here, but I am here for you. If you need me, you just have to call. And so, I'm really looking forward to seeing her.
No, that's a real love. That's a real love. We're going to take a quick break for some ads.
But if you're keen to listen to these episodes early and ad-free, you can subscribe to The Potting Shed.
And if you sign up for a yearly subscription, you get a free Dig It tote bag, very cool, and Fothergill's Sow and Tell seeds.
Just click the link to subscribe in the show notes. Right, time for a break.
Dig It, sponsored by QVC.
If you're thinking about giving your garden a bit of a refresh, this is very good timing.
My Gardenscape at QVC is basically like having a whole garden centre, but at the touch of a button.
Everything's there. Furniture, plants, tools, lighting, all in one place.
I rather like the look of their Studio 70 collection. It's got this very lovely retro feel to it.
Yeah, if you sort of think bold colours, striped sofas, loungers, it is giving proper 70s revival.
And My Gardenscape it's not just for big gardens either. It's for balconies, it's for windowsills, whatever you've got.
Plus, they've got advice from expert gardeners available through their online hub and streaming platform, so you're not just guessing what to do.
Search My Gardenscape at qvc.com to discover more.
You can also use code QDIGIT for £10 off your first order.
That's code QDIGIT, QDIGIT, for £10 off your first order over £30. For full terms, visit the QVC website.
Time for some of your comments now. Diggers. Last week, Jo was talking about how Frances, her sister, processed the loss of her friend. Hayley on Spotify said, it was interesting to hear you talking about the way Frances coped with her grief. My eldest stepdaughter has cri de chat. I'll never forget her grandpa's funeral when she wailed in the true sense of the word so loudly all the way through the funeral. It was not at all British, but I think the rest of us wished we could join her. It was heartfelt and cathartic. It should probably be more normal. And I think maybe it is in some countries. From Hayley, yeah, you're right. I've see footage, don't we, of families, really wailing and letting all their grief out incredibly publicly in different cultures. That is, because it does need to come out.
We suppress grief and we suppress crying and we just constantly
hold it together, and we shouldn't.
Yeah, a number of funerals I've been to where it's physically it's so hard just to keep the tears and the grief in, and why are we doing that?
Why are we doing
when
that?
Really we should just go, I'm really fucking sad. I'm really, really sad about this person going and I really want to cry about it. But that's exactly how we should be behaving. And so, but people with learning disabilities don't know the rules quite often. They just are themselves and they just behave how they're feeling. So that's really, really lovely to hear that message. Whenever anybody dies when we're at the funeral, I might have said this before, so I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself, but when like at the crematorium, when the coffin goes behind the curtain, she's there going, bye bye granddad. That's what she do when my granddad died. Bye bye granddad, waving, and then the curtain closes, and then she will wail, and that's it, it's done. She's okay.
Do you know what? I think maybe there is another way for us all to be. And in those moments of great sadness, sometimes in a setting like that, when someone shows like real emotion and like that, or that something amusing happens, or somebody, something happens like that, or a baby starts crying, sometimes those moments just let everybody release a little bit of tension, because it can be so tense, can't it? In moments like that, it really can. I was talking with my lovely friend I saw who'd had a loss as well, and we were talking about, when you do lose someone, when that grief comes out, when you're home and you push it down, and I remember my mum talking about hearing my step grandma howling like a wolf after she lost her husband, who was my stepdad's father. And my mum had never heard this sound before. I was like, what is that sound? And it was the sound of a woman grieving, like horrendous, it coming
mourning
out from the
loss.
belly. And I remember thinking about my mum having to go through that, having lost her husband, and then going through it myself. And those moments where you are on all, you just have to get on the floor, and, sometimes you're screaming into a towel, or
just howling.
But you let it out, and this sound comes, and it's such an animal sound, and it is proper guttural grief coming out of you. But it is such a powerful relief. And that's sometimes when you've pushed it down. And when it does come out, you're like, oh my God, this needed to come out. And it's, there's always a way to let that, I will always, whenever it's happened for me, I go to the bathroom, I shove a towel in my mouth and I get on all fours. And then eventually the towel comes out my mouth and I'm like, let it out. And it's sort of the strangest feeling. But after you've had that, and you can sit there and go, all right, okay, I feel a bit better now. But and we have to let it out, because if it's trapped, it causes so much damage. So wail, a bit of wailing and howling is good for us all, when we need to.
Can I ask our diggers, as this is always an exchange, can I ask anybody who's listening and watching this, how you stop yourself from crying in a situation? Because sometimes, as we've just said, crying is good. Other times, we've got a wedding coming up, and it's the daughter of Tim. And I know Jules, who was married to Tim, listens and loves the podcast. Hi, Jules. I saw her the other day, and she's a really special old friend. But Sophie's getting married, and I've got to do a speech. I'm like, I'm never going to, no, it's a poem, a reading. I'm never going to be able to do this without crying. And it's going to be an emotional wedding. It's the weekend of Glastonbury, which Tim used to come to Glastonbury. We all used to go together and have a riot. And it was really, really raucous and really fun. But Sophie's getting married that weekend, which is wonderful. It couldn't be a better weekend. But we're all playing a part in the wedding, which is so lovely and very special for us. but I've got to do this reading. And I have never been able to stop myself crying whenever I've got something vaguely emotional to do. So practical tips on how to keep your shit together. I would really welcome those. I genuinely, I'd love to know. There's got to be some trick. Physical, mental, what do I do?
I think having someone with you in case you lose it, who can pick up. This is often something I was talking to a friend of mine who had her dad's funeral recently, and it was like, you probably will get through it, but you might cry and crack at the end. Often you can have a moment where you breathe in and then you'll get through it. And then at the end, your last 2 sentences are lost because you can only hold it together for so long. So sometimes just knowing that, say Disco could be there to step in if you needed him, or Cass.
Yeah.
Having someone who could step in, but also don't be afraid to cry. Because, it's making me want to cry because Tim isn't here anymore, isn't he? And this is going to be a joyous day, but his absence will be felt by everyone, his friends, his family. Is this his daughter? Is it who's getting married? That's making me emotional now. So, God, you will be. Because there's so much feeling in that room.
Yeah, because we just want him to be there.
But that's okay. That's okay, Jo. And I think if you do cry, that's all right. If you are hysterical and you can't speak, like my friend Charlie, when she got married, she couldn't actually get it back together. And, everyone's like, oh, God, what are we going to do? She can't stop crying. But, have someone on standby who could be there for you. And if you just want them to finish the poem, they could. And then they're there.
No, I want to be able to do it myself. I don't want anyone else to step in because I want to be professional and, poised. And I want to...
You don't have to be professional.
I want to be. And I'm a really ugly crier. Oh my God, I'm never going to regain. I'm just going to have a puffy face for the rest of the day and the wedding photos will be terrible and Sophie will never show them to anyone.
Take your big shades with you.
I'll wear shades. It was when it was Tim's funeral, Jude stood up and Steve and India, they both spoke, and then Jude stood up to speak as well. And Steve and India had rehearsed what they were going to say over and over and over again. I know that's something that will help. They'd rehearsed it. And Jude was just like, I'll be fine. I'm just going to blag it. I know what I'm going to say. I'm just going to wing it. So we kept saying, are you sure you can? I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Because he loves public speaking. And he stood up to speak at Tim's funeral. And he said about 4 words. And he just lost it and started crying. And he tried to carry on. And he was just like, he's my boy. He's
your
so
baby.
Much like me. Yeah, he kind of gave up. But we laugh about it to this day. It was so funny because he was so confident that he'd be able to get through the funeral, do this amazing speech. And the truth was the emotion was just too much. And he loved him too much. Yeah.
Oh, well, and if that happens, it'll be all right. But how have people got through emotional moments at funerals and weddings when they have known that, you're gonna lose it? Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful occasion as well.
It's going to be lovely. Yeah, it's going to be gorgeous. It's very, very, very special.
I want to see Jo ugly crying. Let's see if we can make her cry.
Oh, God, every day.
It is.
Every day. I'll FaceTime you. Don't worry.
You'll be like, this is it.
Okay, next we've got a voice note, and this is from Fee.
Zoe and Jo, I just want to say a massive thank you to both of you. I started listening to your podcast when you launched in July last year. I was diagnosed with a rare leukemia and spent 6 weeks in a refined unit in hospital. I'm now in remission, which is really amazing. And since then, I've listened to you whilst having chemo on long days waiting for treatment and to finish. And anyway, my treatment finishes on Friday, which is fantastic. Jo, my son, he's only 17, my nieces and my brother-in-law did London Landmarks to raise money for Blood Cancer UK and then some leukemia charities. Geraghty, I've had a photo with you, grey-haired guy at the end of your run.
Yes.
I don't know if you remember. My son, Ned, completed it in 1 hour 36, which is just amazing. And he's raised over £3,000. Between them all, they've raised £4,000. Anyway, all of them, I'm just so very proud, honestly. And it's been a really, really difficult time. I'd love to do a massive shout out to my gorgeous, gorgeous daughter, Minnie, Ned, and Tom, my husband, who's been utterly, utterly amazing, and my really fantastic sister, and my lovely mum, and my absolutely gorgeous friends, and the rest of my family. I really could not have got through this without them, and I'm really eternally grateful, to be honest. I just want to say a big shout out to anyone going through cancer, and especially to those who might be going through it on their own, because I couldn't have got through it without my support network. So anyway, onwards and upwards. I've got a fun summer ahead. My treatment finishes, and it'd be good to live life again and appreciate the small things. So keep doing what you're doing, and thanks again, Fee.
Fee. Oh. Jeez, what an amazing lady I've gone.
You reached for the tissue after the first line.
Oh my goodness me. Do you know what's funny? My tissues ran out this week and I thought, do I need the tissues? Do I ever use the tissues on the podcast? Yes, I do.
Fee, I do remember him, the grey-haired guy at the end of the run. I absolutely remember having my photograph taken. And 1 hour and 35 minutes is amazingly fast for your 17-year-old. That's incredible. And we're so happy to have been part of your support network. You sound like you have the most amazing people around you. And obviously, when you're in the midst of this, it's incredibly lonely and it's incredibly dark, and those people will just keep you together. They'll hold you together. And obviously we are thrilled that you've thanked them on the podcast, and we send you so much love.
Yeah, I imagine that whole experience has been so frightening for you and your family when you're first diagnosed, and the treatment, you don't know how that's going to go. So you've obviously been a really brave girl, Fee, and your family and your loved ones have been really brave with you, and any of the incredible doctors and nurses who've looked after Fee. Bravo to all of you. Yeah, that's what an amazing summer Fee is going to have.
Yeah. I hope you enjoy every second. Have a lovely time.
Yeah, grab life by the balls, haven't you? So to speak.
Yeah. As gently as is right for you, whatever. You don't have to kind of be stage diving at the very front of a festival all the time. I mean, it's just, I guess you begin to appreciate, don't you, just looking at gardens and the people around you and having as much fun in whatever way you can.
Treasuring those moments.
Thank you for being so open with us, Fee, and we could hear how hard it was and what it's been like for you just in your voice.
And thank you for making me cry. Do you know what? I'd only just patched up my makeup. I've used an eyeliner that's got some kind of glitter in it that's causing some distress to my eyes. So I just patched it up, but now I am a complete puff. You see, this is my ugly cry. Oh, thank you, Fee.
Yeah, and £4,000. What an amazing amount. So yeah.
Yes. People raising money for, Fee, thank you very much indeed. And thank you for sharing. And if you do ever want to talk about your experiences like that and share some love for the people who've helped you through, do get in touch with us. We love hearing from you. We really, really do. And it's nice to know that the podcast is something that keeps people company through some tough times sometimes.
Yeah, it can be a distraction, our wittering on. And there'll be other people who will take solace and comfort from what you've been through, Fee, who are going through it at the moment as well. So we send you all our love, lots of love. Regarding tattoos that you regret, this is something else that we've been talking about. Lorna sent us this message. I was listening to the pod talking about tattoos. I've got several, all of which I love and mean something to me. But the first one I had when I was 19, I was a bit unconventional back then and decided that oh God, this involves a word that I don't like saying. How can you make me read this? Okay, so this is Lorna. I was a bit unconventional back then and decided my must-have tattoo was of a red devil farting. I've said before I don't like saying that word. It's the F word.
Is it red devil that you hate saying?
I thought it was funny at the age of 19, but not quite so good when you grow up a bit and you realise you're going to have to explain it to any future children. So just after my son was born, it was remodelled into a devil sitting on a cloud. My kids are 15 and 19 now, and they have no idea up until this point. There you go. Not so much a red devil farting, but a red devil sitting on a cloud. Thank you. You sent us a photograph. Love it.
This is so good. Also, Lorna, thanks for sending us that, because we now know that Joe hates saying the word farting.
Oh, don't. It's the F word.
What would you prefer? Pop off?
Trump.
Oh, that means you have to say that word as well, which is
I know,
like double
it's
offensive.
Kind of had a totally different meaning as life has gone on. No, I made the kids not say the F word as well, so they even don't feel that comfortable about saying it. Yeah.
I don't know why I'm surprised by that at all.
My family would never swear. My grandma and granddad, my mum and dad really never swore. So I'm kind of the first generation. Then my kids are the second generation of swearers. Steve, You can't stop him swearing.
Well, we have to be good girls, don't we? Because if you're on the radio, you learn, not to swear. Although I think I did accidentally swear once on the radio.
No, I said the C word once on the radio. That wasn't good.
I doubled once because I had to, I double C word did because someone had given me a message about somebody doing a county cross country.
That's what I had.
They had competed in the county cross country, and not only did I see once, I seed twice, and I was always like, who gave me that message to read live? The dyslexic who has trouble speaking. I mean, how I became a broadcaster, I'll never know. But yeah, I double cunted.
Mine was the West Kent West Kent country cross country. Yeah, no, it was the same thing. West Kent country cross country, whatever.
County, West Kent County cross country.
Doomed from the very first syllable.
So sometimes when you're doing live radio, they're just coming in and you're reading them as they come in, and I look now and go, nah, I'm not saying that.
C-bombing throughout, yeah.
But it does make people laugh, and we don't do it intentionally, never. Okay.
Nah.
Finally, we have our first ever caller on the Rant Hotline. Woohoo!
Yes.
This is from Rebecca.
Oh my God, is it really that hard to fold a towel and put it on the towel rail? And also, why do teenagers think that the bin has no end to it? Just keep putting more and more stuff in the bin.
Perfect.
It's
perfect.
perfect. That is all it needs to be. That which is so great. Oh, yes. Towels. And yes, bins. It's so true. The bin needs emptying, or squash it down, or take it out. Don't just pile everything on it and then it goes everywhere and then I have to clean it up. Yeah, brilliant.
I got back last night to... I'd asked for all the beds to be stripped. I wasn't here because I'd stay away the night before, and I'd asked for the beds to be stripped and for the covers to go on, and I got back and literally nobody in the family knows how to put a sheet or a duvet cover on, and they were just being so angry about it. I had Steve and I had Coco, and they were just like, I don't even know which one fits. I don't know I don't know, just like having meltdowns. And I was like, seriously, it's just making a bed. I don't like making beds. Oh, fine. So I end up doing it, of course.
So you have to do it. And there's a lot of beds to make because there's a lot of kids. There's a lot of family to make. But yeah.
I'll tell you what happened. Steve made it. I got up this morning and obviously everything was mismatching. So I just remade the whole thing again because I like it all to match in the rooms.
it is the thing. I like matchy. And when people if people put the wrong one on, I'm like, oh, that's not the one that
drives me mad.
I just, I have to hide things from people because then they go on in the wrong. Yeah, if you want a job doing, you've got to do it yourself, haven't you, sometimes? Well, shall we have a reminder of the number?
Yeah, we need your rants. We want your rants, please. What drives you absolutely insane? Do you want to sing this?
Am I going to sing it? We've not worked out a song yet.
Or should we just say it? No, let's say it.
Just say it. Go on then. You do it. You're more authoritative, Joe. I think people take things from you better than they would from me.
No, you're more inviting. I'm more scary. Right, the number is 07477 038 795. There you go. That's me trying to do a live and kicking number. 07477 038 795. It's not the most memorable number, but it'll work.
It is not. So everyone's going to have to write that down. So we'll read it again because if anyone's tried to write that down now, they'll be like, hang on a minute, what was it again? It is 07477 03 8795. There you go. That's the number to have a little rant. So whatever goes down in your household or in your workplace or when you're out in the big shop and you just sit in your car and think, I've just got to get this off my chest. That is what the Rant Hotline is for, inspired by our very own diggers and their busy bitch hotline.
Oh, it's been fun this week. It's been really nice. Loved it.
It's been great fun. And all the love to Fee. And to all our diggers, do get in touch. We love hearing from you. Have a terrific week, Joe. I'll speak to you later.
Yeah, see you on Wednesday. Bye.
Bye. Dig It is a Persephonica production.